Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the 212A, the Tier 9 Soviet SPG, located on the south spawn of Redshire. This one is under the command of Oxagon. Now he's got the B4 howitzer, capable of doing 900 alpha, penetrating through 52mm of armour, and with a 10.4 meter burst radius. This is the Arty, designed and based on the KB220, so KB series tank, but a tank that they only made 2 prototypes of, and that was only to test and see what would happen if you added extra armour to a KB tank. It was dreadfully underpowered, I'm afraid, because it was carrying a lot of extra metal on the front of the vehicle, but it was eventually rejected. Okay, first target, Striv 103B, lined up, rounds out, and just misses him because he moved after the shell had been fired. Yes, a lot of tanks do get warning a shell's on the way in, and consequently they move out of the way before the shell arrives. Okay, up on the hill, got a 122 TM. Lining up the shot. As he's pulling back, rounds out. This looks good. It is a direct hit. You see, he anticipated exactly how far that guy was going to move back by the time the shell arrived. And so he planted the shell in its path, but behind him. So as it walked back, it drove right into the shell and took a direct hit on him. So he's probably got quite a number of hit points already, and he doesn't know exactly how much. But now he's going to try and put a shell amongst these tanks, and he stuns 3 of them. 2 of them get rid of the stun straight away. Oh, they just got hit by another shell, so they've been re-stunned, and or re-stunned, I should say, and they won't be able to get rid of the stun now because they've already used their first aid kits. Okay. Lining up, ready to go, rounds out straight away. And yes, again, he gets damage on the 7032 and the T832, and they're all stunned again. Of course, as you know now, stun is not cumulative. If you get stunned and you're already stunned, then it doesn't add to it. So unfortunately, a lot of Arty players are missing out if they're all firing in the same direction. Rounds out. This could hit. Well, it landed near, but the T832 had already been killed, so he didn't get any kill off that one. He's now selecting to go for the 277 instead of the 703. He's got slightly more hit points for us to use, but he's also actually remaining stationary, and that may be down to the fact that he's got a tree in front of him, between him and our teammates. Okay, 703 does move away from that shot, doesn't get as much splash. Slowly and steadily he's building up damage. Now he's aiming that one based on where he thinks the 277 is, and he's right, because there he is. But you can see he's using the tree, the ground, and that wreck for cover. Rounds out. Oh, it went the other side of the wreck, and we heard the twang as it hit the wreck, and unfortunately the 277 was shielded from some of the results there. Okay, on this side, the south side of the castle, we've got a Leopard 1 in the moat, and he's trying to get at our Centurion Action 10. He did get a nice shot in, and now he's firing to the south at our Striv S1. Can we land a shell in there? Yes, we can. Rounds out. Direct hit! And that's a penetrating shot for 932, a high roll. And that Leopard 1 has been seriously hampered by that shot. But since there's only the Striv S1 left on that side of the map, we have to move. And we have to move over to this side of the map quickly, because if we don't, we are in trouble. Because there's 3 enemy tanks coming down from the castle towards us. It's a smart move. You have to do this. If you've only got one other player on your team nearby, move. There's a Brask on the hill, so he should be able to spot the enemy tanks who are actually making their way south. But you can see Oxagon's thinking ahead. Can I stay here? No. If I have to move, where do I go? Well, he's moving along the south edge of the map, and he's in amongst the trees now. That should provide him with a little protection. We're looking up the north end of the map. There's Shure MV7X, the tier 9 British medium. Direct hit, right on target. 675. I think that was a low roll penetrating shot. Probably one of the lowest rolls of all possible. Is it 50% of 900 be 450? And so I don't think you could have a high roll non-penetrating shot that would get that much, as much as 675. So it has to be a low roll on the penetrating shot. And the Centurion has gone down, and he was stunned at the time, so we picked up the stun assist. Now, looking towards the north, we know that there are enemy tanks up on top of the hill because we just saw a tree knocked down. We just can't see them at the moment because our teammates haven't revealed them to us. They'll be spotting for us. Now, we haven't heard from any of the enemy tanks that were headed south. The Barasca's now moved right to the red line on the back of our end of the map. And nobody's turned up, which probably means the enemy's headed north instead. Direct hit on the A phase 1, 264, non-penetrating shot. So yes, it does look as if most of the enemy tanks that are in the castle area have actually moved to try and defend their cap area. That was a direct hit that came in from the other Arty on our team, which is the GW Tiger P. It's a tier 10 game with tier 8 tanks in it. The Barask is moving to have a look to see if anybody's still there. Scouting around that area. Possibly pick up that kill on the Leopard 1. But no sign of them yet. So maybe they weren't so keen to come south because of that Striv S1. They probably felt that he would actually be quite dangerous. There's the T30. He didn't move too far away, but he is still in the vicinity of the castle. Rounds out. Bit of splash there, 186. The Baraska's got to the south end of the castle, and he can't see the Leopard. We'll probably reacquire the T30 momentarily. There he is. Okay, he's hiding behind the building. He's taking fire from the Barask. 2 shots into him. 780. That's a high roll on both. Remember, 360 alpha, so 720 for 2 shots is the alpha. And a nice bit of splash there. 232. And the GW Tiger P is also helping. Ooh, that was the AE phase 1 rather, dying to our Hosiery 3. Now, we can get a kill shot on the T30. He's within the blast radius. But instead, we've noticed the enemy Barask, low on hit points, headed towards our guys on the east side of the map. Headed towards the Zeppelin. Now, unfortunately, from this angle, it's a very difficult shot because the Zeppelin happens to be in the way. And so instead, we're going up to the Indian Panzer. Rounds out. Fires for the rear. Gets a hit. 222. Unfortunately, it looks like our GW Tiger P is now in grave danger because the Barask is headed down. In fact, yes, the GW Tiger P has just been wiped out by their enemy Arty, the Batchat 155-55. And I thought he'd be wiped out by the enemy Barask if he headed south of the Zeppelin. Okay, the 122 TM, almost fully dialed in. Rounds out, fires ahead of his path. That looked good because, no, it looks like he slowed down after getting hit, and he was taken out by the T57 Heavy. Looks like the emphasis has changed, and now we're going up the west side of the map because the enemy vacated the west side, tried to defend their cap area, and now they've left the west side open, The Baraska's going to head round, try and take out the last remaining Arty, the GW Tiger P. And he's got him. And that means now that there's only 2 enemies left. The Indian Panzer and the Barask. Somewhere on this side of the map, our guys are moving up to the top of the hill, dominating their side of the map. I think we'll be staying here for the remainder of the battle. We've got the Cobra blocking any attempt from the enemy to come through. There's the Indian Panzer, rounds out. Oh, some splash, but only a little, but it's stunned. And we get the rest of the stun assist, so only the Barask is left on the enemy team. There he is. The Cobra finishes him off. And that is the end of the game. Here's the end of battle stats. And that was an ace tanker game from Oxagon in the 212A. He managed to get a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 16 in this one. A Gauze medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle. And a Confederate as well for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. In fact, he didn't get a single kill in the game, but that did actually help him to get an ace tanker and a Confederate, because he hit a lot of the enemy and did a lot of damage to all of them. Win 8 was 3,385, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at team score. Well, funnily enough, he got the highest damage in the game, but he didn't get a high caliber because it wasn't 20% of the enemy hit pool. He got 4,033 hit points of damage. Some of those blind shots really paid off, actually. And yes, he did do a lot of damage. Second highest damage in the game went to the Ho-Ri 3, who managed 3,643 hit points. And the third highest damage was the Object 277 on the enemy team with 3,498. When it came to kills, it was the Barask who came out on top. 4 kills went to him. He also got a Pascucci's medal because he killed both enemy Arty, the Batchat 155-55, and their GW Tiger P. And 3 kills went to the Ho-Ri 3, and 2 kills went to the T-57 Heavy and the Tortoise, and the Batchat 155-55 and their GW Tiger P. So both of them were good Arty players. So they did manage to get a sizable amount of damage and kills in it as well, but they did lose the game. I'm afraid Oxagon didn't get any kills in that game, but really didn't matter because, as I said, he actually helped him to get that Confederate medal. And when it came to base XP, he's in second place. The Barask managed 1,357 base. 1,076 went to Oxagon. They were the only 2 who managed to get over 1,000 base in the game. And 860 went to the Ho-Ri 3. He fired 16 rounds, a decent number of shots. 5 direct hits on the enemy, 2 penetrating shots. So he did get penetrating shots in this one. And I think we know on which ones he might have got it. The Centurion, yes, he did penetrate it, but got a very low roll on that one. Very low for a penetrating shot on an enemy tank. I think he hit the Leopard as well. Yes, he did. 932 in total. But yes, it was a penetrating round. Went right into the guy, got a high roll. And I think that persuaded him that he couldn't go any further south because he was a one-shot. If he actually had gone south and the Striv was there waiting for him, he was going to be wiped out in just one round, and that's why he didn't come south. But it was the right move for Oxagon to change his position and move over to the other side of the map to make sure that he was protected. He got 20 splashes as well. For 16 shots, 20 splashes. That's because when the enemy tanks grouped together south of or north of the Zeppelins, or Zeppelin, I should say, they actually made themselves multiple targets, and he was firing these rounds in and hitting more than one tank at the same time. 4,033 hit points of damage, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 10 of the enemy, didn't get any kills, but he got 438 hit points of damage assistance and 2,431 hit points of stun assist off 22 stuns. And combined damage, that's 6.5k combined damage altogether. Now, on a premium count, he actually earned 11,822 credits for the game, so it's a profitable game. And he also took away 1,614 experience points altogether. So a very good game there for Oxagon in the 212A. He seems to be playing it a lot recently. He's having a bit of fun. He's also honing his skills, getting better and better and better all the time. And okay, he didn't get any kills in this game, but he didn't need to. All he needed to do was lay down enough pressure on the enemy, enough hits that stripped them of their hit points, and then allowed them to be taken out by his teammates very, very easily. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.